Hello, happy Easter. Oh my goodness, I'm a minute late. This is Shauna Marie Fisher here for my free live animal communication readings. I'm just going to check my, woo, all right, I'm just going to turn down my volume there. Just want to make sure I'm live and good to go, and I am live. So that is amazing. So happy Easter to you. Happy April 4th. I can't believe it's already April 4th. So I hope you all have been enjoying your Easter and enjoying some nice sunshine and time with family and loved ones. So anyway, so I am here to tune into the pets in your life. So it could be one that you have currently, one you had in your life, or it could be just a general question about animal communication. And I know since it is Easter, maybe a lot of people might be out of town or still having Easter dinner with family. I don't know. It was so interesting. So today I went to the store because I was going to pick up a couple things and I forgot. I was like, oh yeah, they might be closing early, but I thought they would be open till at least 6, but they weren't. But hey, good thing it wasn't anything too important that I can't live without until tomorrow. So it's nice to see stores closing a little bit earlier to give people some time with their families. So I think that's important, and hopefully maybe that carries over to Thanksgiving instead of them starting Black Friday like actually on Thanksgiving. It would be nice to have people to be able to have more time with their families, right? I think that's super important. And then I see Steve here. Hi, Steve. Good to see you. And I don't know who else is here, but to find that out, feel free to go ahead and post in the comments. You can say hi, say where you're from if you'd like. If not, that's fine too. But it's always fun to connect with all of you and see where you're from and all of that. You can see my sweet little Coolip is hanging out there on the couch. So she loves having her spot there. Oh, and Beth shared. Hi, Beth. Good to see you again. Thank you for sharing. That means so much to me. Hi, good to see you. So that's what it's all about. You know, if you share this video or let people know that, hey, every Sunday at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I know this animal communicator that goes live and does free little readings. Like that would be amazing and would mean so much to me. If you do that, I would love that. So, oh, and Beth is from Indiana. Awesome. I know some people in Indiana. That's awesome. So, and Samantha is in Ontario. Happy Easter. And she says, happy Easter, love from Ontario, Canada, and happy Easter and love to you in Ontario, Canada as well. Oh my goodness. And then Lisa from Texas. Oh my gosh, that's cool. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. It's so cool to find out where some of you are from, because some of you I didn't know that you know where you're at. So it's really cool to know that and just show that like interconnection and that connection that we all share, right? And that's why I love this technology to be able to connect with you all here. It's super amazing. So anyway, so I see some questions here, and Beth says, does my dog that passed in December have anything to say to me? And I'm sending you so much love, Beth. I know that's one of the hardest things ever, right? Because they're such a part of our lives and such a part of our hearts, and they know us so well. They know us like anybody, you know, better than anybody in the world sometimes, right? Our pets do. So anyway, what's really weird is, so just as like I'm delivering this message to you, I just saw like a flash of light just come in my on my computer screen. So and what that means to me is it like related to a message with you. So what I pick up on is your dog that passed sends you not only so much love, but they send you light too. They send you like flickers of light, and that light and love that they carried on with you in that life together that you shared is like right there. And it's right there, like I'm, holding my like I'm giving myself like an internal hug right now. Like that love is still there and just very much alive, and they just want to share that light and love with you. And I feel like if you see like little flickers of light, so if you like, like I'm looking at one of my lights here, if you see a light that kind of like flickers, and or you see maybe like a flash of light kind of come by, know that's a sign of your dog sending that light and love, to you. And I'm sending you so much love too. So, because I know that's still, so new, right? And to the way I look at it is there is no time limit on grief. It's always very much a part of us, right? And sometimes it could just hit us at random moments and random times, and it's okay to feel through that and work through that, right? So it's really important to acknowledge that grief when we're feeling that. So there is that. So let's see. I'm going to see if anybody else has a question, and this could be like a question, just a general question about animal communication, or it could be a pet that you want me to tune into, right? It could be any of that. So any of that stuff, it's all game. It's whatever you're wanting here. And then I see hi Barbara, good to see you here, Barbara. And this is a really really great question here, and I know this is a thing that a lot of people struggle with, and it's really hard. She says, how do you know when it's time to say goodbye to a 16-year-old dog? So what I do consultations like that with people, more in depth. But what I like to tell people is you can kind of like put your hand on your heart and just kind of like close your eyes. I'm closing my eyes and just kind of tune into that pet that's in your life and tune into their energy, and like, how many good days are there compared to bad days, and really look at their eyes and their presence. Like, how does their presence feel to you? Does their presence feel like really connected here in body, or does it feel disconnected? Do you notice like a disconnect, right? Do you notice that disconnect? And then I also have people like look at their eyes too. So like if you look at their eyes, as I'm touching my eyes here, it's almost like a dimmer on a light switch. Like you don't see the presence and the focus as much in their eyes. It's like the presence really kind of shifts, so you can kind of see that. And just kind of like, I always invite people to kind of do like a journal to keep track of like the good days compared to the bad days, and just really check their presence and like how connected they are to like being present. That's the only way I can think and say, to like being present, and how you can see that they're really there. Like, as if they're kind of starting to kind of get close to that transition point, you just kind of notice it's like they're not really 100% there. You can kind of see it with your physical eye, but you can feel it too. So hopefully that helps to answer that question. And so there's that. And then Beth says, thank you. You're so welcome, Beth. It's my pleasure. And then this is a great question from Lisa. I love this. So it says, do you ever have bad feelings about certain owners with their pets? And if so, what do you do? That's a great question, right? So sometimes, maybe, oh, and then Barbara says, so very helpful. Thanks. You're so welcome, Barbara. You're so welcome. And anything I can do to help you, definitely feel free to reach out to me. So back to Lisa's question. That's a great question. So what I usually do is I try to be kind of really diplomatic with those people, and try to be, very gentle, and give them give them insights about their pets. Or if I have like bad feelings about the owners, like if I feel, something is not right. I really definitely send their pet love and light. I send love and light. And if there's anything that I can do to help the situation, like if I know a pet is being mistreated, I would definitely, make sure, like if it was somebody that I knew or I like witnessed something, I would definitely make sure to contact the proper authorities, like to make sure that that got addressed. But like, I don't know if you're talking about like when I'm doing a session, usually like I don't have like, I've never had like any bad feelings about certain owners with their pets when I've done a session. Sometimes maybe like they may not see the whole picture of maybe what's going on with their pet, or maybe they're not ready to see kind of what's going on. So maybe I try to send them the information and communicate it in a different way, and kind of gather help from the pet to communicate the information to them in a different way. And I send them all, so much love and light. So hopefully that helps answer that question. That's a really good question. And you have me thinking, on that, maybe with like maybe some more information that I can give on that. So that's a really great questions. I love it when you guys ask such great questions. As Barbara's question was really great, and that question was really good too. So and Samantha says in Niagara Falls the other day, they just rescued 23 dogs from a home. A lot were really sick. So sad. Oh my goodness, that's so sad. Oh my goodness. And it took days and tons of volunteers to get them all. Oh my goodness. And bless all the rescues and humane societies and shelters out there that are there helping all the pets in need with everything they do. And I'm so glad that they were able to get those dogs out of that home so they could give them the medical attention that they need, and get them back on the road to like optimal health, and have them have really have amazing homes, right? There's so many. I always encourage people, like if people want to get like a new puppy and stuff, I always, say to go to like a responsible breeder, to be really careful of that. And then also to look at like rescues and humane societies too, because sometimes you can get puppies there. I know when I adopted one of my dogs, she was about 3 months old when I adopted her. So my other one was like a little under a year. So yeah, so there can be great pets there. And then Samantha says, yes, they are amazing. Yes, I agree. Like, I love all the rescues and the humane societies and shelters and all the great stuff that they do to help people and pets, and the connection and all the great events that they do. And a lot of different humane societies have trainers and like a behavior department, so that all the resources that they have are absolutely amazing, and the care that they give for pets. And a lot of them too, there's a lot of them that do public spays and neuters too, which is really great. So people that maybe don't have the funds to pay a regular vet for that, they have those services too, which I think is really great. And I mean, I trust regular vets too, but one thing that's really great is if you do get your pet spayed or neutered at like a humane society, like they're doing that so much that they're really, on that the cutting edge of the technology, and they're really efficient with that too, because they do a lot of those. So to me, that's really great to have it done, where that's their primary focus, right? That's a really cool thing. So, and hi, Tammy from Alberta. Oh my goodness, it's so good to see you here too. Oh my goodness, you guys are so good to see all of you. And Samantha says, I might try to volunteer after the lockdown goes away. Yeah, that's amazing. That would be so great. There's actually, I have a really good friend up in the Seattle area, and she actually volunteers at it's called Homeward Pet. I believe that's what it's called, Homeward Pet in Woodinville, Washington. And she does dog walking there is what she does. So she does dog walking. So there's all different kinds of things you could do to, volunteer at different shelters and humane societies, and it's so great because they need all the help that they can get. So because the money that they do have come in, it's really important to have that be focused on the care for the pets too. So I tear up when I think about the volunteering and all that, because I think it's so important. So it's so important. So yeah. So, and you want to do that. So awesome. Yeah, you totally should, Samantha. That'd be so cool. And when you volunteer at a place like that too, like if you're ever if you or somebody is like on the lookout for a new pet in their life, you kind of have like the first-hand look. So which is really great. So, and then also too, like another cool thing that you can do to help out like shelters and humane societies, a lot of them have like foster programs too, where you can my one friend I was mentioning, she does fostering as well. So you could and I did that years ago. I actually did foster for kittens. I actually fostered this mom and kittens once. I actually fostered, my first foster, it was a set of kittens. Oh my gosh, I think their names were Pickles and Zoe. I still remember them. It was really cool. So I fostered them. And then I fostered a lot of cats that had the URIs, that had the upper respiratory infections too, because I had a separate place where I could keep them separate from my cats that I had at the time. And it was really cool to be able to see them recover and to be out of that stressful environment, because sometimes when they're in that shelter environment, that can be really really stressful for them and really hard. So cats are really susceptible to those upper respiratory infections when they are in the shelter, because a lot of that can be brought onto their immune system from being in that, going to be in that stressful environment. So like fostering is like a cool thing. And actually, I think that, and Samantha says you're going to look into that. Yeah, you totally should. Because I think a lot of shelters and humane societies right now are actually in need of people to do foster for pets that come in. I definitely think that's an important thing. So that'd be great if you could check into that. And you never know, like you might find your next the next member of your fur family right that way too. Like sometimes that can happen. I remember when I was fostering, when I worked at one of the humane societies I did, there was this cat named Dee Dee Girl, and I had her and her kittens, and then I ended up just fostering her by herself. I think it was like once or twice I fostered her after her kittens got adopted. And if I was in this place to be able to adopt her, I totally would, because I just loved her so much. But what was really cool was working at the Humane Society like I did. I actually was able to meet the person that adopted her, because somebody came in and they were looking for a cat, and they were looking for a cat that was just like her, and they ended up adopting her, which was so great. Like it was so rewarding to be able to see her be able to be in a great home. So because if I could have took her, I would have, but it was nice to be able to be that conduit to help to have her go to that new place. So yeah, so there's a lot of great organizations. And there's also too, it's what is it called? It's the Big Dog Rescue Project. So they need a lot of fosters in different in different states. Then there's like a Pyrenees Rescue, and I know that there's also like there's specific like breed rescues, but then also too there's a lot of like cat rescues too, and sometimes they need help with fostering a lot of time, be it like kittens or like a mama cat, or maybe a cat that just needs to get out of like the shelter environment. And yeah, I agree. Samantha says it's awesome. I agree. Like it's so awesome. It's so great. All the help that's out there and all the people that are there helping all the pets. There's this, what was it? About a month or so ago, maybe a little over that. I was out to lunch with a couple friends, and when we were leaving in the parking lot, there was this semi truck, and it was called Rescue Express. And what's really cool is, so it's like this big truck, and what they were doing is they were bringing and I could just like tear up thinking about it. They were bringing pets to their new home, so they're like the transport, and they were bringing the pets to their new people. So you got to see the people drive up, and it was just so cool. See the people drive up and pick up their new family member, and that was just so fucking cool. Sorry, I'm going to use the F word because you know what? Hey, I like, why not? I don't think I'm censored on here, but it was so fucking cool. Oh my God, I just did it twice. Why not? So it was just so amazing to just, usually I wouldn't do that, but I'm like, so just like passionate about that. It was so incredible just to see that. And you could see like the connection starting to build, and just just like it was so cool. Like I actually like sat there and watched for a little bit because I just wanted to see. It was super cool just to kind of like see that experience for both the people and the pets. So it was really cool. It was like, yes. And then Barbara says, yay, F word. Yes, right, exactly. Sometimes you just have to like get it out. And Samantha says, love it. And then Samantha says, that's awesome. That job would be so incredible. I know, right? I agree. So incredible. It'd be so great. And you know, it's funny. So it's interesting that Barbara mentioned that. So sometimes like when I'm in a full session with people, like sometimes like you wouldn't think it, but like sometimes the information, the way it comes through from the pet, like sometimes they actually have had me use like cuss words before. So it's really like, you know, funny when that comes up. Like if it's somebody I know and I worked with before, then I'm like, okay, yeah, like they're not gonna mind. Like it's no big deal. It's totally cool. Or sometimes it might be somebody new, and I'm like, okay, you know, you have to understand like this is coming from the pet's perspective, and so it's really, they're like, they really want to get that point across. So it's really interesting when that comes through, right? And then Chelsea, hi Chelsea, so good to see you. She said, hello, F word, 100%. Yes, right? It's like, yes, yes. And you know what's so funny is that was like the first, like when I was a kid, that was like the first bad word I ever said. I think I was like, what was I, like 5 or 6? And I remember like we had like a little game room, and there's like a little like sliding glass door that went to the game room from the living room, right? And so I remember I was just like walking around. I was like going like this, like I was a little angel, and I was just like, and I just was like saying the F word. I was just like, fuck, fuck, fuck. And it just, that's what I was doing, just like saying that. And it was like, oh my gosh, it was just, so yeah, so that's what I did. That was my first bad word. So that's probably why that's probably one of my favorite bad words still to this day. So there you go. So if there are people use the language, the animals, well, yes, exactly. They totally will. Absolutely. So yeah, because a lot of times with the way they communicate like how they interact with their people and how their people interact with them, because they pick up on all those words and everything that we say. They totally are so in tune to all of that. So anyway, so let's see here. I have a couple other questions. Let's see here. Samantha says, I went on webcam when I was like 8 to a girl I didn't like, turned it off and gave her the finger and turned it off. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I know sometimes you just got to do that. It's like, you know, you just got to like get it out. Like, and sometimes that's okay. So yeah, I love that. And Lisa has a great question here. And then I see a question from Chelsea too. Let's see here. So Lisa says, when I was a little girl, my dog died in a house fire. His name was Oscar. Let's see here. Does he send me any signs or want me to know something? So, oh my gosh, I can't like imagine like how hard that must have been. Oh my goodness, that's so. That's just like, oh my goodness. So the thing like I pick up on that from Oscar is Oscar says that he like always helps you to like really be aware with like electricity and like plugs, and like you're like to be like extra like cautious with things, like you have that like extra awareness like about that, and about like candles being lit and like incense. He says he's like, is there like, he's like your it's interesting because he says he's your watcher that like helps to keep you safe. He says I help to keep you safe, and like I look over you. He's showing me that like he looks over you like this. He says like I look over you, and this is like he's showing me is like his paws crossed like this, like he's looking over you, and he's watching you from above, and he's like keeping you safe and protected. He says like he's like I'm her little protection, and he's having me like hug my whole body down. He wants me to hug my whole body down. Is he's like I'm her protection and her safety, and I keep her safe, and I bring safety and love to her world. That's what he says. And oh, sending you so much love. I can't even imagine. Oh my goodness. So let's see here. And oh, this is a great question that Chelsea brought up, and a lot of people, want to know about this. I think it's really great. So she says, I was wondering if my cat Egan has reincarnated. He died a year ago. So that's a really great question, and I actually do believe that they reincarnate, and if they can come back to us like in different forms. So like a cat could come back as a dog could come back as a cat, a horse could come back as a dog, or vice versa. Like all of that can happen, and you just recognize their essence and their energy because they're similar traits and similar things. So I think, I just want to address that first because that's just a really great question. So the thing that I got right now is like he's having me like write out no with my hand, no, not yet. That he's waiting to come back to you to help fill your heart again. He says, I'm waiting to come back to you to fill your heart again, and you'll know it's me. I'll be like the little he shows me he'll be like a little like scraggly like little kitten, like, and he's having me hold my hand like this, like you can hold him in your hand, and you'll be able to hold him in your hand just like you held each other in each other's hearts. So just you keep on the eye out. And I see like a little like tiger striped cat, like, but tiger striped with white, like a tabby with white. So like how they have like white on their chest sometimes. So that's what I keep seeing. So just keep an eye out and know that you'll know, and just and trust that. So so there is so there's that. And hi, Tamara, and hi, Darlene. And let's see here. So, Barbara says, if you want to meet the coolest cat ever, you can say hello to my cat, Ozzy, who passed away last year. Oh, I'm sending you so much love, Barbara. I know that's so hard. So, oh my gosh, this is like so interesting and so ironic, because I feel like if your cat is like showing me, like Ozzy's showing me the way, like he's showing me, like he's like, yeah, like my hair stands up and I'm cool. And if I was like, he says, and Chelsea says, thank you. You're welcome, Chelsea. You're so welcome. And so I get that your cat, Ozzy, it's like, if he was like a person, he would have been in a band when he was like, if he would have been a person instead of a cat in that life, like he would have been in a band, because he was like really cool. And he's showing me like how he would like get up on stuff, and he would just kind of like be like all like, stretched out, and his like back stretched out, and his fur stretched out, and everything like stretched out, and just the way he would like strut around and the way he would like kind of like go in between things and in between your legs, and just the way he was just like, it'd be like, Ozzy, like, what are you doing? So he says like that energy still like kind of happens with him, and he's like having me like look in my at my kitchen and on my counters. He's like, yeah, I had like super stealthy skills. He says I had super stealthy skills, and I was like so cool. I was like pounce, like bam, pounce. He says I was like the little the big cat daddy pouncer. He's like, I was the coolest. He says I was the coolest cat ever. He's like, that's right. And he said my name did did suit me perfectly too, with little like little Aussie beans, little cool little Oz and little Oster. He says he was like the Oz, like little Oster, like Ozzier or something like Oster. He's like showing me like things like that. So I don't know, like maybe that was one of his nicknames or something, but he's showing me that. So yeah, oh my gosh, he sounds like he was the coolest cat. Oh my gosh. So yeah, coolest cat. So that cool energy still lives like inside you. It's still like he like still like brings that spark of that like of that coolness to you. And let's see here. All right, and then we have Tamra from YouTube. I love it. Somebody's listening from YouTube. I love that because I'm streaming on my personal page, my business page, and on YouTube, like with this program called StreamYard. It is like amazing, and I love that you can stream to, like, I can stream to, with the plan I have, I can stream to 3 places at once, which is like so freaking phenomenal. I love it. So anyway, so Tamra says, can you tell me what animal wants to connect or be around me? What is the animal wanting to tell me? So, you know, it's really interesting is Tamra. I don't like pick up like on like a domesticated animal around you. So what I pick up on is like the energy of like a big cat, like a leopard, or like a panther, like a, you know, like that. It's like I see this card that I have that's one of my animal decks. It's Power Animal Oracle by Stephen Farmer, and there's this card in there that is a panther, and it's like this panther is on like on a log, I think, in that thing, and it says something about like following your passion. So that's the message that I get for you, is like, you know, be that inner cat and have that like that wisdom and follow that like pursuit of that passion, because there's so much that like you're creating and that you can do like in the world. So it's like follow that passion and just keep going with that passion, like, you know, keep that fire lit in you with like what you're wanting to create, because there's like something's about to like it's just like something, I don't want to say like explode, but something's just like happening inside you where it's just going to like, whew, just like come out with like this new thing that you're creating or like wanting to do or wanting to change. It's like about following that passion. That's what I get for you, is like following that passion. So it's so yeah, something like that. So it's that. So yeah, just like super power, like around that power. It's like a very like powerful energy around you. So that's what I feel with that. And then let's see, I'm gonna get back to your question in a second, darling, because I see another part to Tamara's question. Says Tamara says, yes, today I felt very powerful in the way let's see, in the way I walk, and everything looked at me in amazement for some reason, is walking around amusement park and love bugs around me. Oh, that's so sweet. And you said, let's see, I've been told of a marriage and pregnancy from a spiritual advisor this year. Can you tell me what animal will be around to signal my husband is near, or here, or a pregnancy is near? So I just keep like, I just feel like with that, can you do a second question or next slide? Yeah, you can, if there's time, I can answer another question for you, or I do this every Sunday at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So like what I'm picking up from you for that is just like hold your hand on your heart, and you'll just feel it. Like you'll feel it like in your heart, and you'll just feel like that sense of peace when you connect with that person. You'll just know, like you'll connect with their eyes, and you'll just feel that like peace within your soul and your heart, and it'll just like radiate like in your solar plexus chakra and in your heart. You'll just feel that connection, and you'll just feel that knowingness, and it'll just be right there for you. So you'll just know that. So let's see, and I have a question from Tammy and then Darlene. So just so you know, I always like to, so the order, I always forget to mention this. So the order that I see everything come through is different than the way you guys see it come through. Since I'm streaming on those 3 different places, it comes through like in the order that it comes through from wherever it's streaming from. So that's why sometimes you might not see all the comments that I'm seeing, because you might be listening to like a different place on Facebook than I am. So there you go. So there is that. So Darlene says, is Millie, let's see here, let me go back to it. Is Millie getting over being upset with my travels? Let's see. So the thing that I got from, oh, and hi, Patricia. Good to see you. And then Tamara says, thank you. And then, okay, let's see here. I can't wait. I was told, Tamara says, can't wait. I told my husband I will meet in October of this year. There you go. Like, yeah, just keep your eyes open and keep doing like you're going out and doing things. And, you never know. Like when we put ourselves out there, you never know what could happen. So that's amazing. I'm going to send some good vibes for you with that. That's really cool. So, so the thing I got from Millie is what she's going to be, is she done with being upset about your travels? Let me look. She's like, look at it. Is she done being upset with your travels? She says, no, not yet. She says, no. And she had me do my hands like this, like, no. She says, I need a couple more days to be upset. She says, I need like 2 to 3 more days. So she says, I need to like, maybe like Wednesday. She says, maybe by Thursday, I won't be as upset. She's like, I need a couple more days, please. She says, I need a couple more days. She says, just a couple more days. And she wants you to, just keep indulging her and take her out like on a, take her out on those, walks by the lake that she, by the park by your house and all those places that place she likes. And just, she says, sit your butt at home with her. She says, sit your butt at home and stay at home with me. And if you go somewhere, make sure it's a time of day that I can go with you to, that I can go with you to, because I want to go with you too. Like, I want to go with you too. I want to be with you, and I want to, and I want to go with you too, is what she's saying. So yeah, oh my goodness, Miss Millie, she's so sweet. So yeah, so Darlene went on a little trip recently, and it was a little longer than she's been gone in the past. So that's, so that can have an effect on our pets, right? So that's why it's always good to kind of check in and communicate with them, let them know like, okay, I'm on this trip, and, and energetically check in with them too. That can be really helpful, because there was once in my life I didn't do that with my yellow lab Luna I had, and she was not happy with me. She was so upset. Oh my goodness. So but anyway, but she got over it. We we made up, and it was okay. So so there you go. So hopefully that helps. And then I see Karen on here too. Hi Karen, good to see you. Oh my goodness, I love hopping on here. It's so cool, because it's like I see a lot of you that always listen every week, which is so cool. But it's cool to see like everybody kind of pop in and check it out. It's super fun. So let's see here. So Tamara has a question here. It says, wondering if my horse Nitro has oh, hi Karen, if my horse Nitro has anything to tell me. So it's about like when you're like, as you can see, like I'm moving, it's like I'm on Nitro now, like I'm riding. And it's the thing I get from Nitro is like loosen the reins, like don't have the reins so tight, like have it be like a little like hold on to it like a little bit less. Don't hold on so tight. Like don't hold on so tight, like loosen it up a little bit. And it's like with the way the rein is, and then like energetically too, like with that energy that you're putting out there, with Nitro. And Nitro says like, I like the earlier part of the day. Like Nitro showed me I like the earlier part of the day, like the sun earlier, and the end part of the day. So Nitro says I like the sunrise and I like the sunset. Like I like the the dusk sunset and then the sunrise in the morning too. And I've never had a horse tell me that before, so that's really interesting. And I always let people know everything I pick up on. So even if it doesn't make sense to me, or it seems kind of like that seems a little strange, I always want to convey that message to you, because it's a lot of times that those are the ones that are like, oh wow, that really hits home. So that's why I always bring up everything, even if it seems like, wait, that seems weird. So anyway, so Karen has a question here. Is Cosmo's leg okay? So this is going to sound like really like a really weird analogy, but I just have to say how I picked it up. So Cosmo is like showing me like his leg is like a like kind of like a drumstick or a chicken leg. He showed me like that kind of like, he showed me like the that part of his leg. He shows me it feels kind of like grabby, like tight, loose, grabby, tight, loose. He's showing me like grabby, tight, loose, like grabby, tight, loose. And he showed me like it doesn't want to have that like real like kind of like weight on it. That doesn't want to have that weight, and doing some like kind of just kind of having him kind of to be kind of keep quiet with that leg and careful with jumping, and see if you could do some like energy work or massage with that leg, or see if there's like something the vet can give that can help with inflammation. See if your vet has something that they recommend to help with some sort of inflammation, and then you can ask your vet about what they think about giving some turmeric, because turmeric really helps with inflammation. So you'd want to check with them to see kind of what the right dose, and maybe look at using some essential oils, because I feel like maybe using some essential oils with like a carrier oil, kind of rubbing it back on like that hip part of that leg. I feel like the hip part, and then like kind of where the leg kind of bends, and he's showing me like a back, because sometimes the sides get mixed up. So I'm like, okay, Cosmo, show me the clear side. So he showed me like a back left leg. He showed me his back left leg. So he says just really keep an eye on that, because it's just like watch him with jumping up and down off of stuff. And he's showing me that like when he has something that he jumps off and up and down off of a lot, to have like a little pillow or something like right underneath there, so it kind of helps to brace his legs when he jumps down. So and sending lots of love and healing vibes to your sweet Cosmo's leg. So let's see here. And Tammy says, thank you. You're welcome, Tammy. It's so good to see you. I love seeing you all here on Sunday night. This is like the highlight of my week. And I'm so glad that there was you guys that were actually on tonight, because I didn't know people were going to be out of town with family, or what was going on with that. So it's so cool to connect with all of you here and see you here. So let's see here. And Chelsea says, when it comes to animal communication and your own animals, let's see here. Are you always in communication with them like you would be a person, or do you have to tune into them to communicate with them? That's a great question. And you're welcome, Karen. You're so welcome. Oh my goodness, you're welcome. And here for any support you and your sweet Cosmo need. Oh my goodness. So that is a great question, Chelsea. I love that. So with my pets, like, it's so funny. Here I am, the, animal communicator, but I mean, I'm really in, good communication with all of them. But sometimes they're like, hey, they're like, Shauna, hey, like, what would you be telling your people? Like, come on. And my cat Mojo, like when he wants something, he has this look that he gives me, so I know. I'm like, okay, like, so I'll ask him. I'm like, oh, what is it that you want? And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, you need more of this, or you want this attention, or you want this. And Nugget and Coolip will always let me know too. But I have to kind of like, sometimes I might have to kind of like tune into them. But then if it's something that they really want me to know and really communicate, they're like, whew, here it is. It's just like, right there that they show me that message. Because what's really cool is like there's so many different ways that messages can come through, because sometimes it'll be like a picture that will come to me. Sometimes it's just that knowing that I'm like, oh, okay, like there's this that I'm picking up on. Sometimes it'll be a sensation in my body. I'll have that I'll just hear something or feel something. There's so many different ways that it can come through. So hopefully that helps answer the question. But yeah, it's kind of like, like when you're talking to a person, there is that, effort with that communication back and forth. So it's, kind of like that with, tuning in and communicating with them. I love like these questions you guys ask, because it's stuff that to me, it's like, oh yeah, I know that. And it's like, it's cool to like hear the question of it, because I like to be able to, answer those questions for you, because then it helps me to kind of know like, oh, okay, cool. I need to, bring more awareness about this or that. It's really cool, because I just want to really help enlighten people about animal communication and all this, right? To me, that's really really super important. And so that's so yeah, so there is that. So yeah, so you are welcome, Chelsea. Oh my gosh, you're welcome. Like, thanks for the great question. I love it when you guys, I love tuning into your pets, but I love it when you ask questions like that. That really gets me to kind of like, think and be like, oh yeah, okay, like I love that. So Patricia says, I had the neatest dream of swimming in a pool with a horse. Oh my gosh. That is amazing. Oh, hi, Patty. Oh my gosh. Good to see you here. Good to see you here. So, oh my gosh. Sorry about that. I just turned here real quick there. But that is so cool, Patricia. Was it a horse? Yes, I'm still here, Patty. I am here. Yeah, so I'm here. Sorry. So was it a horse that you knew, or was it a horse that like you've never met before, that you had that dream about swimming in a pool? Like that's so cool. Like I love that. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, horses are so magnificent. I mean, I love all animals, but horses just have there's just such like wisdom with horses, right? There's just such a deep wisdom. There's such and hi Selena. So yeah, there's just such great wisdom and insight from horses. And Patricia says never you never met before. Interesting. So it could be maybe like a guide horse for you, a horse that's like trying to give you a message, give you like a little whisper. So it'd be really cool is maybe if you took out like a journal or just even like a notebook and wrote down kind of the message that you got from that horse. I feel like that horse is like the message that I get. Yeah, you felt so uplifted when you woke up. That's amazing. So I feel like that horse is like, I'm here like swimming the current with you. Like we're together. Like I'm helping you row and swim and move forward, and you're supported, and I'm with you, supporting you and there with you. Like that's so cool. It almost feels like a Pegasus energy is what I was tuning into just now. Like as you said that, like a Pegasus. Like I'm here to like lift you up. Like I'm here to lift you up, and that's what I'm doing is I'm lifting you up, and I'm lifting you up. So that's so cool. I love that. And let's see here. And then Patty says, darn Easter, I almost forgot. I know, right? I almost was like, oh yeah, it's Sunday. I should have posted about this earlier, but it's so, it's okay. You guys know I'm here. So, and Patricia says the horse was very kind. Yeah, I feel like that, just that kindness and that beauty. And it makes me think of, oh gosh, what's that movie? I know it's not a horse, but the Never Ending Story. And there's like that big, it's like a kind of like a big white dog. Like I don't know, what they call that, but like it just makes me think of that energy, just like the gentle, the gentle kindness, and like, I'm here to support you, like that, just that energy. That's so cool. I love it. And hi, Nancy. Good to see you. Oh my goodness. I love all you guys popping on here on your Easter, and happy Easter to all of you. If I didn't mention that before, let's see here. And see, I have a question from Patty here. It says, my sister's dog, Odie, growls at our feet sometimes. Can you tell about abuse or reason? So the thing that I pick up on is like, I want to touch my nose, which is weird as I'm like tuned into that. It's like Odie is like saying that, like, he feels like, wait, don't hit my nose, like, don't hit my nose, like, don't hit my nose, like, don't hit my nose, with like you're moving your feet, or like if I'm sitting by your feet, or or your feet are moving by me, or something like that. He's like having me tune into my nose. So I feel like maybe what happened before is like something, maybe like somebody like kicked him like by his nose or something like that with their feet. So he like says like feet when they move like too fast or something like that, or like when they move, because he's having me move my feet, like sometimes that makes him a little kind of more apprehensive or nervous. So just really work with him on that, and just be like, hey, this is going to sound like really weird, but just have him like maybe like smell your foot and be like, hey, like, it's okay. And just, like move it like slowly with him. And maybe you touch your foot and be like, look, see, Odie, it's okay, and just have him have maybe that different experience with that. So that can kind of help to reset his brain. Because I don't feel like it was anything that happened from with your sister. I don't feel like it's something with your sister. It was like something before your sister, like pre your sister, he says, like before your sister. So yeah, so there is that. That's what I'm picking up on for that. And then let's see here. And Lisa says, I have had dreams of fish floating out of a fish tank, and I bop their heads down so they won't die. What is that supposed to be? Oh my goodness, that's a really interesting dream. I love to tune into dreams. I think it's really interesting, right, to see what happens with that. So I feel like what's happening with that, like when you're kind of having like something go on in your life where you feel like you're kind of maybe like struggling, or trying to like literally like keep your head above water, like trying to keep your head above water, like it's it's something like that. It's like, yeah, it's like, oh, okay, they're there to remind you, like, boop, like, I'm here to help support you, and we're keeping above water together. Like it's something it's something like that. It's like a support. It's like boop, boop, boop. And it's almost like they maybe want you to spend maybe some time in some water too. It's really interesting. Like there's like kind of the water theme tonight. Like I think water is so healing for us. Like when it rains, and even putting our feet in the ocean or in like a lake or a stream, or also taking a bath too. Like, and even showers. Just something about that water is so powerful, right? It's just so powerful. So yeah, so that's a really, yeah, so that's really interesting, Lisa. I love like when you guys put all your comments like that in here. And then Patty says that your sister dog Odie acts like he got kicked out, because that's what I was picking up on. It's like I kept wanting to like move my foot like that. So just kind of interpret like a new thing with feet with him, because he just feels like he has to be like on guard. It's like whew, on guard. So that's yeah, so that's what I'm picking up on for that. So yeah, and hopefully that gets better, because that's such a hard thing. Oh my goodness. So let's see here. And then Chelsea says, I have pet lizards. Oh, I love that. Lizards are so cool. And lizards too, like, are about gosh, one of the messages like that I was thinking of my other animal card that just came to me. It's a lizards, about dreams, about paying attention to your dreams and sleep and all of that. So So let's see here. Do any of my lizards have messages for me? Any requests? So and hi Marine, good to see you. So what I'm getting from your lizards is I see like something like these like leaves, like these little like kind of like crunchy like light kind of tan leaves, and like grass on the leaves. Like they want some more like leaves and like some like grassy straw type stuff. They're showing me like some grassy straw type stuff, and then they're showing me like some different fruit that they want. So for some reason, like I just saw and I don't know that lizards like what if they eat this stuff, but they're showing me like a raspberry is the first thing that came to me, as like a raspberry, and then like a blueberry, and then like some cut up strawberry, and then like a banana. So it's like they want you to kind of like maybe cut some of that stuff up and put it like on that like their little platter. They're calling like the little leaf, like their little platter that they want you to put that out there for them. And that's yeah, so that would be their request. And they like it when they like walk up on your hand too. They're showing me like like walking up on your hand. They like walking up on your hand. They said that's really cool. They love doing that. The walking up on your hand. So that's really cool. So there's that. How fun, lizards. Oh, I love it. So, and hi, Kate. Oh my goodness. Good to see you, Kate. And Kate says, I've had nightly dreams of 5 of my crossed over animals this past week. So interesting to me. Never have they all showed up like this before. So it's so interesting. Like as you're, as I read that message from you, I saw like all these different like, what's coming through is like molecules. So like these little like molecules, like I see these like little circles of these like little molecules. I see like a little red one, a little yellow one, a blue one, and a green one. It's like there's these molecules and they're like in this circle, and they're kind of like spinning around in this circle, and they're like, here, we're helping you move this here and move this here. It's like they're helping you to kind of like move and shift some things, and like with order of things, and something that you're working on right now. So it's like whoop whoop whoop. It's like an energy of like a Ferris wheel is what they're showing me with those like little molecules. And then they're showing me like O2 is in there, like oxygen. They want you to remember something about like oxygen and O2 and how important that is, and like breathing, and get people to like the balance and breathe. So I feel like that's like a big reason why they're coming to you, is they're like your support. They're like they're your support. They're like, we're coming forward to be that support. So yeah, wow. And it's so, and hi Maggie, good to see you. It's so good to like pay attention to those dreams and pay attention to those things that are happening, because when we are aware of that, right, we have that awareness in here, we can bring that awareness from here like into our heart and into our heart space, and then we can have more of like that awareness, and we're going to be more receptive to those little like subtle messages and things that come up and come to us. So that's really beautiful that you're paying attention to that. I love that. And Kate says, laugh out loud, love it. Yes, so fun. She says, oxygen, breathing more. Yes, thanks. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, it's really, it's like, and they're showing me like the dreams are like really vivid. Like it's like makes me think of that movie. I just had a scene pop into my head of the movie, that Mitch Albom's movie, The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. And I think it's toward the end of the movie, and they're at like that like amusement park, and it's just they're talking, and there's people, and there's these clouds and like balloons, and I don't know, like hot air balloons or something. It's like really vivid and real, they're showing me. So let's see here. So Kate says, they are very real dreams. I can feel them and experience them fully. So amazing. Yeah, that's so cool. And what would be what I think is really fun to do sometimes is like before we go to bed, or like actually probably in your case, it'd probably be after you wake up, like have a journal next to your bed or a pen and paper, and just kind of like write down the first thing that comes to you, even if it's just like scattered words that don't make sense. And maybe what they'll do is they'll help you to put those pieces together of the things that are coming through to you in those dreams. So kind of just take note of that and take stock of that, and yeah, and be aware and have that awareness about it, because there's something really to that is what I'm getting. And Kate says, yes, very vivid dreams. I read the book. Oh yeah, it's so funny is I haven't read the book, but I've watched the movie. It's like I kind of did the opposite. So I'll have to read the book. And you said you haven't, Kate says, I haven't seen the movie. I will have to watch it. Thanks. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, you will will do. Thank you. Yeah, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Yeah, it's such a great movie, and I really love the actors in it. So I wish I could think of his name, but the guy that like plays the main character in it, it's just such a great like heartfelt movie, and it has like it's really has depth and quality, and it's one that like really connects to your heart, and makes you think, and connects to all of that, which I love. I love the movies like that, that are more like that, heart-centeredness, right? Because some of the movies they have out now in the theater, like I don't really have a desire to see some of them, because it's just they don't have that connection piece and that human element where it really touches my heart. Now, I think, what was it, the last movie I saw in the theater was the art of racing in the rain. Now, I love that movie. That movie was so incredible. I actually bought that movie. So two reasons I like that movie. I really love the story, and I love the movie, and I love Milo Ventimiglia. Like, oh my gosh, like he's such a great actor, and let's just say, like, he is not bad to look at. Like he is some good eye candy, like that's for sure. Oh my gosh. And he's a great actor, and the other cast in the movie is really great, and the story is really great as well. So yeah, if anybody has not seen that movie or read that book, they are both incredible. So yeah, so there you go. So yeah. So there is that. Oh my goodness. I love like how when you guys type in the comments, it sparks other things in me that maybe I haven't thought about before. And yeah, Kate says it's a beautiful movie, total tearjerker. Oh my gosh, it totally is. Like at the end, oh my gosh, I don't want to spoil it for you, but like, oh my gosh, like the very last part, the end of the, oh my gosh, like, oh, I don't want to think about it right now, because like tears are starting to, like, oh my gosh, like just thinking about that, like, oh my gosh, I can remember that last part of the movie. And like all throughout the movie, it has like the tearjerker parts, but the last one, it's like the last part of it's like, oh my gosh, it's like the coolest ending ever. Like it is like such an awesome, awesome movie. Like, so if any of you out here really love like heartfelt, like inspirational movies that are beautiful, that have like a beautiful story and a beautiful message, The Art of Racing in the Rain is amazing. And another great movie, now this isn't an animal related movie, but it's so amazing, is oh gosh, okay, it's not the regular Secret movie. It's on I watched it on my Amazon Fire Stick. It's called and it has Josh Lucas, and Josh Lucas, oh, he's an amazing actor too. So, and he's not bad to look at either. It's Josh Lucas and Katie Holmes, and it's called The Secret Dare to Dream. And oh my gosh, like, so that movie, like one night, I was just kind of having like kind of a night where I was just kind of like in a funk, right? You know how sometimes we have those times, and I was like, okay, I want to like see what I can watch. There wasn't really anything on regular TV that I wanted to watch, right? So I like searched through, and just like serendipity happened. It was very serendipitous. I came across that movie, and I watched that movie, and it was so it was like one of those movies. It makes you really think, and it didn't have like the interviews, how The Secret has the interviews, but it had those little like poignant points throughout that movie where you get that those tokens of inspiration, and that inspiration that really comes through. So it is a really beautiful movie. So it's called The Secret, Dare to Dream, and it's really it just like the way the whole movie flows, it's really amazing. And I think it has, oh gosh, what's his name? I want to say Jerry O'Donnell in it too. So that's a good movie. And if any of you haven't seen like The Celestine Prophecy or The Way of the Peaceful Warrior, those are really, really great movies as well. So there you go. So I like those kind of movies, that ones that touch our hearts, right? We need more of those, and that inspiration, right? It's so important, right? Because some of the stuff that is out there today, it's like, oh my gosh, it's it's. And hi, Stacy, so good to see you here, Stacy. Hey, so it's so many of those movies that are out there now, and some of even the stuff on TV. It's like I always like pay attention to like the vibration of things, and like how it makes me feel when I watch it and after I watch it, right? Because I like to watch things that, uplift me and make me feel good. Like sometimes we might watch that show that's like, oh God, like why am I watching that? But it's really good to be like mindful of what we are putting into our mind, right? As well as like what we like ingest and put into our body as far as what we eat, but like what we put into our mind, like it's a really important thing to be aware of, that because that affects like so much with our thoughts and different things, like even with I'm going to go as far as to say with like our immune system and things like that, right? Like those thoughts that like filter through and circle through us, like they really have an effect on all of that stuff. Like, so it's really important to, be in tune to that, right? So it's really, really important. So yeah, so there is that. And Stacy says, yes, right, exactly, Stacy, yes. And so Kate actually, like, so speaking of it, like I'm thinking on here, Kate Ship does like amazing stuff with like yoga therapy and all this cool stuff. Like she is amazing. And Stacy is a inspirational like life coach. She does like life coaching and stuff with people, and she has a really cool Facebook group, Stacy does. So those of you that like really want to be inspired, I think it's called Super Bowl Sisters, or like, oh my gosh, I'm like a part of the group. I should know the name of the group. Stacy, what is the name of your group? So if you're like looking for inspiration and just like more like stuff that's like inspiring for yourself, like Stacy's group is amazing. It's such a great group. I think it's like Super Bull Sisters, or I don't know, something like that. It's a really great Facebook group. So yeah, and Stacy says thanks for like, you're welcome. It's amazing. Yes, Superpower Soul Sisters. Yes, thank you, Stacy. That's what it's called. Superpower Soul Sisters. It is amazing. It is like a fantastic Facebook group. So any of you looking for more inspiration, and then and then also too, my friend Darlene that was on here earlier, she has a great group. It's called Healers Awakening to Purpose. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Healers Awakening to Purpose. Yes, and she does a lot of she does work with Reiki, and she does a lot of inspirational stuff, and that's really cool. And then Mary Lou, that I know, she has a great group. It's called, I think it's like Unstoppable You. She does a lot of Mary Lou Rodriguez does a lot of stuff with hypnosis, and she does amazing work. And I just love to share about all the stuff that everybody does, because I think there's so many beautiful people out there that are doing amazing things that help support us in life. And I think it's so important to go like seek that out, and find like who you resonate with, right? Because there's so many great so many great choices and things out there. So yeah, so if you're looking for that inspiration, so yeah, so and then Stacy says self-love is our superpower. Yeah, right, isn't it? Like it's so important, like that self-love for ourselves. And I really definitely feel like the animals in our life, like they help us remember that that self-love and that love for ourselves, right? Just with the unconditionalness that they give us and all that, like that they remind us to love ourselves unconditionally as they do, right? Because they always, they always love us so unconditionally, right? And they totally, remind us to tune into that love for ourselves, right? I know it's such an inspiration. Like if we really look to the animals in our life and really hone into that and really just soak that all in, right? It's so important. So it's so important. So, and even if you don't have a pet in your life, like the wildlife reminds us of that too, like the birds and the squirrels and all of that. They remind us of that as well. So it's important to take stock in that and be aware of that. And Stacy says, "Oh my goodness, yes, my Maddie has loved me so unconditionally." Yes, right, isn't it amazing? Your sweet little Maddie, she's so cute. So yeah, it's amazing how they do that, right? And they how they help us to remember that. And it's self-love is such a huge thing, right? Like that's just it's so important. And it's important to spend time with those that we love in our lives, but there's sometimes you have to spend time like within and like really harness who you are too. I think that's that's important. So anyway, so that's like, I know it's like kind of a whole different subject, but it's it's important. You guys all kind of got me thinking, when we're talking about the different movies and things like that. It just really kind of put me in that space to really to think about that, right? It's really great. And to see like some powerful women that I know on here that are doing like amazing things and amazing work. Like there's so many great people on here. And I'm like, I probably miss some of you that are like on here that I'm like, oh wait, I could have shared their stuff. Because I love to, share what other people are doing. Because I think it's just there's such I don't know. I just think that's what it's all about, right? To share and support each other. So I mean, look at the animal kingdom and look that's what they do with each other. They they have a way of like supporting and supporting each other and all of that. So I think it's important. So anyway, I was so great to connect with all of you. Like this is like the highlight of my week, coming on here every Sunday. So I do this every Sunday at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time is when I do this. So feel free to share about it, share this video, share it with people that could be inspired by this. And then also too, this just right here as just a brief sampling of the work that I do. Like if you want more of an in-depth session, I do in-depth animal communication sessions, and it's more one-on-one dialogue, and it's definitely a more in-depth experience. So if any of you are interested, it's you can find me at happytailsintuitiveanimalmassage.com, and I will try to put the link here in the comments. So it's happytailsintuitiveanimalmassage.com. I will post the link to my website, and it has my online scheduler. And oh, hi, Ray Louise. Ray Louise says the shared. Thank you, Ray. Ray says, oh my God, I just came looking for an animal communication reader. Like, look at that, right? Like, ask and put it out there to the universe or those powers that be, like whatever calls to you. Like it has a way to find us, right? And isn't that really just so beautiful? So I'm so glad you found me, and I'm going to make sure to put the link to my website in the comments. And Stacy says, oh, thank you, Stacy. You're pretty amazing too. So thank you so much. It means so much. So so let's see here. So so Ray says, I've been wondering about what my cat needs. I feel like he's trying to tell me something. So, oh my goodness, and I can see your Facebook profile. It looks like it actually has. Oh, thank you. Patricia says, thank you, Sean, and God bless you and your babies all. Same to you, My dear friend Patricia, same to you, my dear. So your kitty is so beautiful, Ray. Like I love that picture. What a beautiful baby. So the thing that I pick up on from and it's interesting that that's him in your picture. Okay, cool. I love it. What a beautiful baby. Oh my goodness. So the thing that I pick up on, and it's interesting because we were just actually having a whole, conversation on here about, self-love and how the animals like remind us to, love unconditionally and how they love us unconditionally, right? We were just talking about that and really honing into that. So yeah, you said your dear boy bear. So it's interesting because what I'm picking up on that what he needs and what he's trying to tell you is he's trying to tell you to nurture yourself more. Through nurturing him, you're nurturing yourself more because he says he brings healing to you. Like he brings healing and insight and love. And he's showing me the way, like he kind of like the way you're sitting right there, like how he also shows me like other than that, like how he comes up and he has his head like underneath your chin and he just kind of does this and does this and does this and does this like with his energy for you. And he is just like having me like kind of put my hand right here. And he says that he sends you like nurturing for yourself and love for yourself. And he wants you to really hone into that and like spend that time with you and him because he says he brings you like much healing and much love and much nurturing. And he says that's like your thing to do together. And he's like, he loves that. He says that's his thing with you. He says that's what he really wants you to know. Like he says he really wants you to tune into that and do that. He says that's what it's all about. And he says, yeah, yes, he does that in the mornings. Oh, that's so sweet. So yeah, so he's my everything, honestly, right? They know us so well, and they're such a part of our lives, right? And they know, every part of us, and the depths of our soul, and they see parts of us that maybe even people that are closest to us don't really see and embrace and comprehend, like the animals in our lives. See that, right? And feel that and hone into that. And you said, is he happy? That's so yeah, he says yes. He says he's like has me do this. He says if your heart is happy, he's having me do like all these like little hearts around. He says your heart happy, my heart happy, like our hearts are happy together and like hearts of happiness. He says happy, happy. He says the more you're happy, he says the more I'm happy. And the more you're happy, the more I'm happy. That all of that, like it's really, 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 really important. And that, like, and he says, your guys' happiness is each other and being with each other. He says that's the happiness. He says that's the happiness. He says that's our happiness is that time and that love together and really and that's what it is. Yeah, and they're. Yeah, he just sounds so amazing. He's so beautiful too. I love that picture. So he says animals are just amazing, so intuitive and absorb everything. I try to be conscious of my energy, right? Yeah, it's so true. And it's really great that you bring that up because they pick up on everything, like all of our thoughts, like whether they're unconscious or conscious, anything like that, they pick up on all of that and they feel that and they like feed into that, right? So like sometimes they can actually help us maybe tune in and realize something that's going on with us that maybe we weren't as aware of. They can help like heighten that for us and bring new and bring new awareness for us. They can really do that sometimes. So there is that. And yeah, I'm sending you and your baby much love. He's like, keep up with that sorry, my throat's getting dry here. He says, keep up with that love, that love, that love. He says, keep up with that love, that's so important, and that he really loves that, and that's his treasured times with you in the morning and in the evening. And he says, really, all of that time is his treasured time with you, and he loves that so much. And that's it's so, so important to him. And there's nothing like that, that time with you that that means so much to him. And I'm going to see if I'm going to find my website right here. And I'm going to actually, put that here in the comments, and let's see here. So here we go. Let's see, it takes a minute. So I just put the, take a drink of water here. The link to my website. Sorry, I've been talking for a while, so I was like, wait, I gotta get a drink of water to kind of replenish here. So yeah, and so thank you so much, Ray says, and this means the world to me. Oh, you're so welcome. Like, it's my pleasure. I'm so happy to help and tune in, and I put the link to my website too if you're interested, and you can even sign up on my mailing list if you're interested in that as well. And I do this every Sunday at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time is when I do 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So I'm so glad that I actually stayed on a little bit later tonight, so that way you could hop on, right? There's no accidents, right? Everything happens as it should and how it's supposed to. So I'm glad that I was able to give you those insights from your sweet baby. Oh my goodness, he's just so handsome. I love it. Such a beautiful boy. So oh, just followed. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Ray. Thank you. That means so much to me. I'm so glad. And yeah, and hopefully you're able to tune in again, because maybe next Sunday you can hear my dogs barking in the background there. So they're one of the neighbors is coming home, and Cool Up, that's my dog that's barking right now. She's like, I gotta let you know they're here. They have such great ears, don't they? Oh my goodness. So anyway, so I'm so glad you can tune in, and I love that you put the little sunshine in the comments. I love sunshine, especially now it's like spring. It's starting to be lighter later, and the sun is out a little more, and it's like, oh gosh, it's so nice. So yeah, and you said he is very handsome, one blue eye and one green eye. He's very majestic. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. I love that. I had a Flame Point Siamese mix for 14 years, and he had the most, and his name was Leo, was his name, and he had the most beautiful piercing blue eyes, just like oh gosh, so I bet that's beautiful with his blue eye and his green eye. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's so beautiful. So yeah, so that's really cool. So yes, oh my goodness. Well, I could talk forever, but I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up, and I'm so glad that you all tuned in. So thank you so much for tuning in and for listening to the replay. And oh my gosh, you're in Australia, Ray. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So Ray says we're going into autumn here in Australia, making the most of these beautiful sunny days before it gets chilly and gloomy. Yeah, I forget, like, in the different like spots like that, like your guys' seasons are different than our seasons, like, which I think is so, like, that's so fascinating and interesting. I just recently learned about that and wasn't aware of that. So yeah, so you have a beautiful and then let's see here, Hi Up Co. I see on here too. Good to see you too. And I hope you have a beautiful Easter as well, Ray, and everybody else too. Have a beautiful rest of your Easter, and sending you all so much love. And like I said, thanks for listening live, and thanks for listening to the replay. And I will see you next Sunday at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Have a great night, and bye for now. Much love.